Pete Hegseth has been narrowly confirmed as U.S. Defense Secretary after Vice President JD Vance was forced to break a tied vote in the Senate. Mr. Hegseth was confirmed by a 51-50 vote in tense scenes on Friday evening after a rebellion by 3 Republican senators, including Mitch McConnell, the former Republican Senate leader who has a fractious relationship with Donald Trump. Susan Collins, the Maine senator, and Lisa Murkowski, the Alaska senator, also voted against the former Fox News host after questioning his leadership credentials and personal conduct. Mr. Hegseth's confirmation was complicated by allegations of sexual assault and alcohol abuse, which he has denied, and is by far the closest of the votes to Mr. Trump's cabinet so far. There were questions of whether Thom Tillis would join the ranks of the rebels to defeat Mr. Hegseth's nomination, but the North Carolina senator ultimately voted for the new defense secretary. The intervention of Mr. McConnell, who kept his party unified throughout Senate confirmation votes which reshaped the federal judiciary, is a significant development and raises questions about the fate of Mr. Trump's other cabinet nominations. Mr. McConnell said Mr. Hegseth had failed to provide substantial observations on countering the threat posed by China or deepening the U.S. alliances. Effective management of nearly 3 million military and civilian personnel, an annual budget of nearly $1 trillion, and alliances and partnerships around the world is a daily test with staffing consequences for the security of the American people, he said. Mr. Hegseth has failed as yet to demonstrate that he will pass this test. But as he assumes office, the consequences of failure are as high as they have ever been. A member of Mr. Hegseth's team labeled Mr. McConnell a fraud, telling CNN, "He spent his entire career as a leader talking about the team. As soon as he's out of leadership, the first thing he does is stab the team right in the back." Although opposition failed to prevent the former Army major being confirmed, it is only the second time in modern history that a vice president has had to break the tied vote for a cabinet nominee. "I thought I was done voting in the Senate," Mr. Vance, who stepped down as Ohio senator days before becoming vice president, wrote on social media. Mr. Trump congratulated Mr. Hegseth on his Truth Social platform, saying he would make a great Secretary of Defense. "I am not convinced that his position on women has changed." Ms. Collins said before the vote that Mr. Hegseth did not have the experience and perspective to run a department with a budget of nearly $850 billion and a workforce of around 3 million employees. His limited managerial experience involved running 2 small nonprofit organizations that had decidedly mixed results, she said in a statement released on Thursday. Ms. Collins also said she doubted that Mr. Hegseth, who served in the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, had dropped his previously stated opposition to women serving in combat roles. "He and I had a candid conversation in December about his past statements and apparently evolving views. I am not convinced that his position on women serving in combat roles has changed," she said. Ms. Murkowski likewise raised concerns about Mr. Hegseth's experience and stance on women in the military, and went on to say that she doubted he had the character to lead the Pentagon. "While the allegations of sexual assault and excessive drinking do nothing to quiet my concerns, the past behaviors Mr. Hegseth has admitted to, including infidelity on multiple occasions, demonstrate a lack of judgment that is unbecoming of someone who would lead our armed forces," she said. "Above all, I believe that character is the defining trait required of the Secretary of Defense and must be prioritized without compromise," she continued. "The leader of the Department of Defense must demonstrate and model the standards of behavior and character we expect of all service members, and Mr. Hegseth's nomination to the role poses significant concerns that I cannot overlook." Mr. Tillis, who is up for re-election next year, said he had asked tough questions of Mr. Hegseth and conducted my own due diligence before voting for the new defense secretary. Mr. Hegseth, 44, was accused of sexual assault in 2017 by a woman who subsequently reported him to the police over an incident at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Monterey, California. He denied the claims, but reportedly paid out $50,000 to the woman, which his lawyer said was because it was cheaper than fighting the allegations in court, and because Mr. Hegseth feared losing his Fox News job. Monterey Police Department investigated the allegations and ultimately chose not to file any charges. In a sworn statement submitted to the Senate Armed Services Committee, Mr. Hegseth's former sister-in-law claimed he had passed out at family gatherings after drinking heavily and was once dragged out of a strip club while in uniform. Mr. Hegseth, who called the affidavit false and inflammatory, has told senators he would abstain from consuming alcohol if he were confirmed to lead the Pentagon. He has also denied wrongdoing over his management of two nonprofits between 2008 and 2016. One saw its revenue plunge by millions of dollars in a couple of years, while the other spent more money than it raised in 3 of his 5 years at the helm. The Army veteran is the third person to be confirmed to Mr. Trump's cabinet after Marco Rubio, the new Secretary of State, and John Ratcliffe, who became CIA director on Thursday. Mr. Rubio, a former Florida senator, was voted in unanimously, while Mr. Ratcliffe was confirmed by a wide margin of 74 to 25 votes.